Long time we've been gone, but we're back for another episode of Safe Space of Love. And today we are going to be talking about an extremely important topic, something that affects a lot of us. Long time we've been gone, but we're back for another episode of. Okay, I'm a little rusty. Sorry about that. But we're going to be talking about an extremely important topic, something that affects a lot of us. It affects me. You know, I'll be honest in admitting that. We're going to be talking about depression. We do have a special guest. We're waiting for our guest to come, and we will start this as soon as the guest comes aboard. But thank y'all so much for coming in. I'm just going to share us out because I know I haven't done it. I'm doing this now. Peace of love. Hold on. Okay. I'm just sharing us out. Hey, Lizzie Pooh. Come on in.
Sharing out has never been easy for me to do.
Yes, thumbs up the live. Share us out.
Okay. Oh, I guess I did it.
There you go.
You see it?
Oh, I'm on Twitter. I'm sharing us out on Twitter. Hold on.
Can you check to see if I did it?
What, on your community wall?
Mm-hmm.
Let me check.
Hi, Princess. How are you?
Let me
What
see.
do you see on my wall?
You shared it. It's on the
it?
community wall. I see it. Ooh. Yes, I see it.
Okay, good. So I did it right.
It works. Yes. Hey, Pooh. Hey, brother.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, babe. How are you, Yogi C?
I'm good. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Beauty.
Nice to meet you. I'm Princess Lizzie.
Oh my God. I just realized y'all have
I never met Beauty and Beast. I heard about her so much, but I never like,
met her. Oh my, look.
It's my first time for everything.
Well, I hope what you heard about me is good.
Yes, good stuff. That you support
that's good to
everybody.
hear.
Yeah, I heard a lot of good stuff.
I have a real bad habit of talking about people as if they've already met. I have a very bad habit of that. I've always done that.
I'm going to have to go to your channel and check you out.
Yes, I got to check you out too.
And
I just haven't been around lately. I don't know. I've been going through a lot. I just haven't been around lately.
Yeah.
I understand.
I just been focused on me and my health and,
That's how you got to be sometimes.
And, some people be like, oh, where you been? I've been doing me. sometimes you got to take a break from this stuff
Absolutely.
and just do you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
So that's what I've been doing me, trying to get my health together.
your health is your wealth, and that
Right.
includes your mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Seriously, it includes your mental health too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
I had to get my mind together because I was thinking some stuff that I didn't need to be thinking.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like that. I go through that sometimes.
Yeah.
I think we all do.
Yeah, we all do.
I had to do stuff to make it help, like take walks and, get out the house, do stuff like that.
Yeah. And one thing you'll find out, hopefully by the end of this hour, is that we're more alike than what you think. Like a lot of people kind of go through the same things. They just don't say anything.
Say it, yeah.
Bottle it up. And that's not always good to keep it bottled up.
Right. I learned that the hard way. Like you can't keep stuff bottled up, and then you say it to the wrong person, and then it goes left.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
23.
Okay.
I know I look like I
That's
have a
why.
baby face. Everybody says I look like
No, I'm asking that question because of how you deal with your situations in that 23. I think you actually handle them pretty good to take walks and stuff. You're actually handling them pretty
unless
good.
I would just explode and
Speak up a little bit, Lizzie, so they can hear you.
I said I have to, unless I will explode.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, because I deal with depression too.
Yeah.
And I know that's what this topic is about. And, I discovered it at a very young age on me dealing with it as well. And I didn't know how to cope with it. And like I said, some of the methods that you're using, I was taught that same thing. And one of the things I used to do was always keep things bottled up. And I learned that, you can't. You have to let things out. Sometimes, you can speak your mind, but it's how you do it. And I used to express myself sometimes when I first learned to get things out and not to bottle it in. It was all coming out at first the wrong way, but as I matured in age and within time, I learned it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yes.
To people. So I had to learn that with my walk. So it is. So for you to be 23 years old and you already got the coping methods down, I think you're doing an amazing job.
I have to, because I've been dealing with this situation for 23 years. So I had to get myself out of it and figure out a way to get me out of it or to calm me down with it. Because it does trigger you at first. It does. Like, even though I say, yeah, I'm getting through it, but am I really getting through it? I have to do some things to get myself out of that situation or get out the house, because it is where I'm at. Like, I'm with just me and my parents because my sister goes away for school. So, dealing with just me and my parents is kind of hard, and you have nobody on your side really. So, you got to deal with stuff on your own. So I had to find a way out.
Right.
Exactly. I understand. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and get it started. People will come in. A lot of people will catch the replay, and that's fine as long as they get the information and if they know that they're not alone. That's the most important takeaway from this whole thing. So Princess Lizzie, of course, is our guest, and the title of this is Depression, the Battle Within. And I did that on purpose because I do feel like it's a battle within. I deal with depression. Beauty deals with it. April. Lizzie's here to talk. She deals with it and go and tell you her experiences with depression. We will probably also share our little short stories. And if we still have time before our hour ends, we'll allow some people to come on the panel if they want to speak about it briefly. But Lizzie is a YouTuber. You can check her out. Princess Lizzie.
Princess Lizzie.
Yes. I love her energy. I love her spirit. And from the outside looking in, you would never know what she's going through. That's why I titled this The Battle Within, because a lot of times you don't know what a person is going through.
Yeah.
You have no idea. So I'm going to give you the floor, Lizzie. I'm going to mute my mic so that you can speak, and then the three of us will just have a conversation afterwards. Okay. All right, babes. I'm muting my mic now. Go ahead.
Okay. So I've been dealing with this since I was little, like young, like in middle school. Like in middle school, it wasn't bad because I was with my sister. It was me and my sister, and it was all four of us. So it wasn't that bad. But once I got older to like when I got into my 20s, that's when it started changing a lot, because that's when my sister was moving to college, and that was a whole big jump, where to the point where everything was on me, everything, anger, everything was on me. Everything's Lizzie did this, Lizzie did that. It's all me. What I did is always put on me, and it's like a burden. It's like and even the stuff that I do, it's not even just like anything I did. It felt like, to me, it felt like anything I did wasn't right. Like if I wanted, like, because I went to college, yes, I did go to college, I did have my experience, but because I dropped out of it, well, I got kicked out because of my situation, the fire situation. I got kicked out. And the fact that I got kicked out, my mother blamed me. Oh, you should have, you should have did this and that. So it got a burden on me. And I was like, you can't blame me for something that I chose to do. I chose to not go back to school. And then I found this training program that I did for like a month, and it was a really nice program for childcare. Same thing I was doing, early childhood education. And I was doing good, and everything was turning out good. My mom was, I don't know if she was being phony or fake, but she was just like, oh, I congratulate you, oh, think you're doing good, sporting me, telling me that I'm doing good, oh, that she's proud of me and everything. And then like at some point, when the program was over, she's like, what's next? Like in my head, I'm like, what do you mean, what's next? Like, I just graduated. So what do you mean, what's next? You have to let me recuperate. You have to let me get into it first before you just say, what's next? So she just kept like bugging me about it. Like, what's next? So, I was thinking, because I had a job developer in that program, which was a good thing. So he was helping me with, jobs and working in a daycare. It was working out. But you know what happened? This pandemic, the coronavirus hit everybody hard. It hit everybody hard. So, ever since this coronavirus hit and we can't go nowhere and I'm stranded in the house, it has gotten worse. It hasn't even got better. It has gotten worse to the point where, my mom keeps bugging me. Are you looking for jobs? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? Why are you just sitting in the house? You're not doing anything. You don't even do anything in this house. You just sit here and do nothing. But in reality, I am looking for jobs. I used to tell April all the time, like, about the daycares that I applied for. They still got my stuff on hold because of the whole coronavirus. They still have my resume on hold. They kept saying they got my stuff on hold. I applied for Target. They said they got my stuff on hold too, because I applied for cashier, and they said they wasn't looking for that position. So they said they would get back to me. So I am trying. I go on Indeed every day. I go to different websites, Victoria's Secret, different stores to try to find a job. And it has been really hard because a lot of stores are either they are hiring, but the fact is that, they're not having a lot of people in the stores because of the coronavirus. They're only allowing a certain amount of people into that store. So it has been very hard for me. So what I try to do is I try to talk to myself every day, motivate myself, like, Lizzie, you got this. Lizzie, you got this. Even though my mom says I'm not going to be nothing. I'm a piece of garbage. I'm a piece of shit. She says that to me. She says I'm garbage and how I'm not going to be nothing. But you know what I do with myself every day? I look in the mirror. I look at myself every day and say, Lizzie, you are going to be something. Lizzie, you got this. I have to do it, unless I will literally in my mind. The reason why my mind has been very awkward is because I've been thinking about really killing myself. I'm thinking, why do I gotta be here? Because if I'm not wanted, why do I need to be here? That's how I felt. And I would tell my friends that, and they would like literally try to stop me. Like, this, you got a lot in store for you. You are mature. You matured more than I did. They say that I'm a motivator. I motivate people. I motivate people because I don't want people to go through what I'm going through right now. That's why I motivate people. I motivate people to stop them from going through what I'm going through, because it's not easy. 1 minute I'm happy, the next minute I'm sitting here crying into tears. Like I was saying on my live stream today, I cried for 2 weeks because of health issues that I'm going through. For 2 whole weeks because of health issues. And my mom says, get out of it. You're going to get out of this. Like, no support, no nothing. She blamed me for my health issues and she attacked me with it. It's just been hard for me. And, you know, I've been crying for 2 weeks about the health issues, what health issues I'm going through. I still have this boil that I've been trying to heal for the longest, since March, since after my birthday. And it's been a couple of months. It's almost a year since I've been dealing with this boil. And now they said I have an infection, and now I'm taking more antibiotics. I took it in the beginning stage, and now I'm taking more antibiotics. It's been very hard for me. I cried when I heard the news, because it's like, what more can I handle? I'm already stressed out and depressed by what I'm going through with my mom and her attacking me and her saying disrespectful things to me, how I'm not going to be nothing. And then this messed me up even more. So my mind is really messed up. I'm trying to stay strong for myself and, you know, just so I can keep myself going. And the only thing that keep myself going, I'm not even going to lie, TikTok. I'll be on TikTok every day, posting videos, acting goofy. That's the only thing that makes me joy, and singing. Like, if I don't sing or if I don't go on TikTok, I'm a whole mess. I really am. I'm a whole mess. And I just, you know, I break down and I start crying and I start calling to my friends, like, I'm going to kill myself if I don't find something else to keep my mind busy. I'm going to go crazy. And that's what's been going on. I've been going crazy lately, so I had to keep my mind going. But, you know, now it hasn't been crazy because my sister's home. So now that my sister's home, you know, my mom has settled down with it. But, you know, it still hurts me that your parents, a parent that raised you, you know, gonna sit here and, you know, do that to you, especially what you've been going through. Like, that, I'm adopted. Like, if y'all didn't know, I'm adopted. That's my aunt. So, you know, I've been through court, everything, and you would think, because I've been through back and forth into court when I was younger and everything, you would think it'd be easy. It ain't. It ain't easy. And one time she said I'm like my mother, that hasn't even been here, hasn't raised me, left me and my brother in the house by ourselves. She said, "You are acting like your mother." And I was pissed off, because that's sad that you're going to call me, you're going to say that I'm my mother, that hasn't even supported me, that hasn't even came around to even take care of her 3 kids, 4 kids, matter of fact. So it just pissed me off to figure out, why would you say some stupid stuff like that? I don't care if you're mad as hell. It's still depending on how you treat your child. You have to respect her either way and support her decision. So that's really what I've really been going through. So I've been depressed and stressed out. And it's just like, the only way I can get out of it is by doing stuff to keep my mind off of it.
Well, I love you, Lizzie. You'll
Yes,
always be
look,
my Lizzie, my baby girl.
you are wise beyond your years. You have a strength that you don't even know that you have. You have a strength that I don't even realize. I don't think you realize how strong you are. To be able to come on this panel and speak openly and honestly about everything that's going on with you and the things that you've endured, to put all that out there is a strength that most people don't have. And to understand what you're going through and to actively to do things to keep yourself going is strength on a whole nother level. It ain't many people who know that they're depressed and say, okay, I'm going to say these daily positive affirmations to myself to keep myself going. It ain't many people that do that. So I want you to recognize, first of all, the strength that you have. You are strong, girl. So that lets me know right there that no matter what life throws at you, you got it. Hold on for a second. Do y'all hear him? Okay, I finna go in there and get him. I'll let it go. I let it go. Okay. But yeah, Tiffany, she's very strong. Yeah. And I want you to recognize that. I want you to absorb that and realize, because what you just said, most people will crumble. especially by a parent. And I'll be honest, like my mother, I love her. She's been gone since 2017. You,
I hear him
you,
now.
Right, I hear him too. Yeah.
I wanted to add
go
to
ahead,
this
Steve.
with
I
you,
gotta handle.
to be totally honest with you. And I wanted to piggyback off of Tiffany Chanel at the bottom and our purpose for being here. Like she said, we have to remember we are not on this earth to be wanted by our parents or our spouses or friends. But the one thing I can say about that as well is what you go through, we all go through certain things for a reason. And what you're going through, don't count it as if God didn't put you through that for a reason, because somebody that's going to be going through that, you're going to be able to help pull them out of that situation as well. You know, that's the reason why a lot of times we go through some of the things we go through. It's because we are here to help pull each other up and to help one another get out of certain situations. So, like Foodie said at the beginning, we all been through certain things and familiar, but it's just the people that we surround ourselves with that is to inspire us and to help pull us through those moments. Girl, you got so much to live for. Trust me, when it's your time, God knows when it's your time. I used to feel just, when I tell you, I got a story. I used to feel the same way at times. Like, nothing I felt that I ever did was good enough. But you have to come to grips. If it's good enough to me, that's all that matters. As long as it's good enough for me, it ain't got to be good enough for everybody else. Long as it's me and I'm happy and satisfied with it, that's all that matters. Long as you're satisfied with it, don't worry about what nobody else think, because this is your life. You have to live, not for no one else. You are here for God's glory. You're not here to please everybody else. We're here to worship him and to do God's work. That's it. That's it. It's not, they said when you, and you know, I'm not trying to get religious on here at all whatsoever, but the one thing I can honestly say is they said when you follow Christ, that didn't mean you're not going to suffer with him. You're going to suffer with Christ too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just part of the territory. It definitely is. Trust me, it took me a while, but like I said, I think you're so smart. And I love how you handle it at your age. It took me some time to get, do you have children?
Nope.
See, that's a good thing because you're able to focus on you. I didn't have that opportunity. When I was your age, I already had 2 kids. I already was a mother. So it was a little difficult for me to kind of, you know, cipher through life and still be a mom and still love on them and still trying to figure out how to love me, you know, because I'm putting my children first, you know, and I was losing myself within my kids. So now my kids are, like I said, it takes a lot. And I'm so, I don't know. It pleases me to hear someone of your age and your stature that got it. You, like Foodie said, you strong, girl. You got this. You strong. You got this. Trust me.
It's not even just me. It's like I'm religious. I believe in God. I believe that God heals you through it all because I've been through a lot of like situations. Like I was telling y'all, the fire situation. I lost a lot. I lost everything, and I was in college. But by the grace of God, He healed me through it. It was not easy because seeing my room like that, looking like a hurricane, it was not easy. I literally cried it out. I had my cries, I had my tears, but the thing about it is, we back in the apartment 2 years later. 2 years I've been in here by the grace of God. So I believe in God. I pray every day. I pray to Him, let Him know. He knows what's going on. He knows. But all you got to do is pray to Him and stick to your belief and stick to your faith, because if you lose that, you're going to lose it all, because I believe in that. And, you know, I'm born and raised in the church. You know, my grandmother, you know, she taught me a lot when I was younger. So I learned from her too.
Yeah, and you stick with that. You stick with that. I'm telling you, you gonna get through this. I'm so serious. You know, April just put a number in the thing.
the Depression National Helpline. Anybody that's battling through depression, because first and foremost, we are not doctors. We don't have any of them PhDs or MDs, none of that behind our name. So if it is something that you're going through, April has listed the hotline number for you to reach out for help. But yes, you got it, girl. Like Beauty said, and I said, you got it. I know it don't feel like it, but you do. At your age, I didn't know to tell myself those positive affirmations like you're doing right now. I didn't know that.
I had to teach myself how to do it because nobody else was going to teach me.
Girl, I didn't know to teach myself. That's what I'm saying. You are so strong. Like you just have no idea. At your age, I didn't know how to do all of that. Let me tell you something. At 30, I was going to Miami for my 30th birthday. And my mother made me feel so guilty. I was about to cancel my trip, give her all of my spending money. And if it weren't for my dad calling me. And I love my mother. I miss her every day. I'd rather have her here right now than anything else. So I don't want anybody to think that I don't, but sometimes parents can run a head game on you. Sometimes they can. And, it may, you don't understand why they're doing it, but they can, and it can affect you. If it weren't for my dad calling me saying, no, you're getting on that plane, you going on that trip, I wouldn't have went. So a lot of things, I was turning 30. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of things that you already taught yourself to do, I wasn't doing at your age. You are strong. You are so strong. Yep. Tiffany said it best. Even parents can be narcissistic. They can be. It's crazy. Now, I don't think my mother loved me, any less. I never forget. This was when my mom was in the hospital one time, and the nurse saw it. Like I had already been there, and then my brother came, and my mom had a whole different demeanor. So then the nurse said, "Oh, this is your favorite." And so I said, "Yeah, he is her favorite." But by then I'm okay with it. Like, I already knew he was her favorite. Now I was good with that. I was a daddy's girl anyways. But it caught my mom off guard because I don't think my mom realized how she was, how much she put it out there. And so my mom said, well, no, they both. I said, no, he's her favorite. I'm good with it. Like I knew it because I still knew my mom loved me. Whatever she battling with, that's on her. I don't think she loved me any less, but I knew it was a difference. I always knew there was a difference. But I didn't know how to cope with the difference when I was your age. I didn't know how to cope with it. And I think you at your age have figured out a really strong way to cope with it. So I am so proud of you for that. That's a strength that I didn't even know existed at my age, that you got it. And just know we love you and we're always here for you, day or night. Me and April be up all hours of the night. We always here if you want to talk. Always. Tiffany says, same here. Yeah. So I think that's probably I don't want you to feel like you're alone. I think good or bad or indifferent, we've all had our struggles, with our parents, some more severe than others.
Lizzie, you know me and you talk all the time, baby girl. And you know what I tell you all the time. You got this. God got you.
Yeah.
But you always know you can always call me. You can always DM me. You know I'm always right there in your corner no matter when you reach out to me. You know, even if it take me a minute, I'm still going to get there and I'm going to be there for you. That's why I felt you needed to come up and talk today to get it on off your chest without just talking just to me. So I thank you for coming up. Tiffany is saying, I still have my struggles, but I've been setting boundaries. And that is so true. So, so true.
I think setting
Hey,
boundaries is really important. I think it's very important. I had to start doing that. I had to start doing that. So I think that's very important. Bev said, now I'm older, we are better together. Okay, so her and her mom, the older you got, the relationship got better, Bev. I got you. Yeah, that was the same way with me. The older we got, the relationship got better. I agree with that. And one thing, let me tell you something. One thing that one of my cousins told me, and when he told me that, it kind of changed my outlook on the whole situation. He said, you came out the womb not needing your mother. He said, you always wanted your mother, but you never needed her. And he said, because you never needed her, that rocked her to her core. He said, your brother needed her. He said, but you never needed her, and she knew that. And I was like, he said, you've always had this independence about you. He said, you never needed her. You just went on ahead and just did your own thing since you was a little girl, since you came out. He said that rocked her. And I was like, wow, I never knew that. And I think you are very independent, Lizzie. And that, that's just something to think about. Sometimes, they want us to be independent. They want us to reach out on their own. But when you're as outgoing as you may be and you do tend to do things on your own, sometimes I think in their mind, it kind of takes away from their motherhood a little bit. I could be wrong. That's just my situation. I don't know if that's your situation, but that was my situation. And my cousin, that was a revelation for me when my cousin told me that, because it changed my outlook on our relationship. And at that point, I knew how to deal with her better or differently. What did Tiffany say? I can't see. Of course, people you love may get upset when you set boundaries, but stick to it. They will eventually respect it and get used to it, and you will have peace of mind. And yeah, the older you get, you'll realize your peace of mind is everything. Bev said her mother said she was too independent. Yeah, and it rocked your mom. It rocked her because she's a mom. So I know Beauty wanted to tell her story, so I'm gonna give her the floor next. I'm about to mute my mic.
Hi, Bev. Hi, Tiffany. My story is a little bit differently on how I dealt with my depression. I discovered, I guess I ended up developing, see, my story to me, the reason I don't talk about it because I get real emotional. So if I get emotional, you guys, please excuse me, because I might end up throwing my avatar on. But I was about 14 years old, and my brother was murdered. And from that, it created this thing of depression with me that still affects me to this day. Um, I'm sorry, that's why I don't like talking about it. But I went to a very, very, very dark place at this time in my life because, when you young, death was revealed to me in such a way that it impacted me that I never thought that would when it affected my immediate family. Um, I ended up developing, I never got treated for it. So I was never diagnosed, but I was having these symptoms where I couldn't breathe. And I guess those were panic attacks. There was moments where I would tell my mother, hold on. There was moments that I would tell my mom, something was wrong with me. I couldn't breathe. I was having panic attacks. I went to a very, very, when I say a dark place, I don't want to get too in depth with how dark I got, but it was hard. And like I said, it created this ball effect with me. I started feeling like I guess what I'm trying to say is maybe during that time, it's just like I started getting revealed a lot of stuff because I seen life differently. And I guess I wasn't ready at that time. You going through puberty, you going through so much, you dealing with, and then this happens. Something so tragic happens. And you don't know when you're that young on what it is that's going on with you and how are you supposed to deal with this. I didn't have my mom to lean on because it was her child that she had lost. So she didn't know what to do in that situation. So, you go to friends, and they don't know because we all kids, we not knowing. So there came a point in time in my life where my mom, her only way I think of coping with that at that moment was she ended up having my little brother. My little brother is really, he's adopted. And I think, that was her way of kind of trying to cope with that situation. But in the process of it, my little brother, he knows that he's adopted. But in the process of that, I became neglected because my mom felt the need to make up for what she thought she lost through my little brother and didn't realize she still had a child that still needed her too. So when she took him in, it was kind of like that was a part of her healing. But she didn't look at the fact that, she still had two other kids that still needed her and needed to be healed. And it drove me to I ended up with somebody who I shouldn't even have been with. It's just like from those decisions, I just felt like I said, I'm not that good with expressing how I feel like you are, Lizzie. That's why I said, as young as you are, to me, you are so strong because even for me, it still hurts to this day. And I'm still learning. How to cope with a lot of the hurt and the depression that I deal with. I have my moments where it's hard for me to get up and straighten up or to want to get dressed because I'll sit in the bed. That's how my depression deals with me. It hits me differently. I thank God for the husband that he brought into my life to be able to deal with me on a regular basis. There was one point in time where I ended up taking antidepressant meds, and they didn't help at all. I'm being honest with you, it didn't help at all. And I prayed for God to get me off of them because I started feeling like my body was becoming addicted to them. Like if I didn't take them, I miss a day, because sometimes I would forget to take. I would feel it, like I feel sick, and I'll be like, "Why am I?" I'm like, "Oh shoot, I forgot to take my meds. I didn't do them yesterday, and I didn't take them today." So, and I do remember there was a point in time God delivered me from that, and I said, and I took that and said, if God can deliver me from being off of these medications, I know He can deliver me from depression. And it's a fight, and it's a battle, and it's something that I'm fighting with every single day. And like I said, I just thank God for the people He brought into my life that helps me. I thank God for the man He brought into my life that has patience to deal with me. So I don't want to hold up too long talking about my story, because I can go on and on about it. But I do want to say this. When I say you strong, Lizzie, girl, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I really, really do, because this thing, like Foodie said, the battle that's within is real. It's real. They say you don't look like what you've been through because I don't wear it, but I feel it. I feel it. So that's all I want to say about it.
Whew. Well, I'm going to tell you, y'all are both strong. You are too, Beauty. You may not feel like it, but you're strong. And I love you, sis. And I'm always here for you. I'm going to always be here for you. And I go back to that. It's the battle within, because you never know what a person really is going through. You don't know the struggles that they have. Because to look at a person, you never know that until they decide to open up and share it with you. But I just want you to know that I know, Beauty, you telling Lizzie she's strong. Well, she is. She is definitely strong, but you are too. Because what you're going through, you fight. You have the strength to fight it every day. Everybody don't have that strength. You fight it every single day. And you wake up ready to fight it every day. You know what you're going through. You know your battle. You talk to me outside of here, but I listen to you. And you wake up and you ready to fight it. That's a strength that's unmatched. To wake up and be ready to fight whatever and fight what's going on with them. Everybody doesn't have that strength. Everybody doesn't have that strength. Yeah, Bev. I'm currently in a depression cycle and I'm dealing. I pray a lot. Bev, you got to keep praying, because one thing I do know, if God brings you to it, He can bring you through it. I do know that much. I talk to God all the time. Like, one of the things that Tristan, how you ever met somebody that says these eloquent prayers, like they these awesome prayer warriors? That ain't me. And I know I'm not one of them eloquent prayers that they be giving these awesome sounding prayers that you just know God is listening to. My uncle told me, he told me when I was little, he said, your prayer is just a conversation with God. Just talk to Him. And there's certain things he told me to say that I say in my prayer. And so I tell anybody, my Uncle Tony taught me how to pray. Because I didn't know. So now I just have conversations with God. And I know He listens. Beauty is this inside joke with me and Beauty. Because she know what I be praying every day. And she said, look, stop praying to God about that. I said, I'm going to keep on praying. Because I know He hear me. Now, He may not answer it in the way you may want Him to answer, but He answers. he answers, and I know he answers. And I know with him, whatever comes my way, I'm good. I'm going to be good.
And I do apologize for breaking down, because that's not something that I wanted to do. I hate getting across the platform and doing that. I know, but Brody, but you know, I'm going to say it. I do apologize for it. But, and I know it probably sounded like there was a bunch of holes in between. My story's so long, I just did not want to drag it on. So I kind of like skipped through a lot of years to get to be able to finish my story off, to be honest with you.
But yeah. So Lizzie, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
I just wanted to say that Beauty and Beast, you are strong too. You are. You may not believe it, like Pootie said, you may not believe it, but you're strong. You're crying it out now. It's good to cry it out. It's good to mourn it out. It's good to like do that, because holding it in is not good. So the good thing is that that's the first step. You telling everybody, you telling us what's going on. That is the first step to recover the depression. So I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for even coming up here and telling us what's going on.
Why, thank you. But the reason why I just always feel like I'm such a crybaby.
I am too.
I'm like crying over this. And it be the same stuff, but like I said, it's because it's real to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's real. This is really my walk in life, and I feel like I've been through so much, and I know where I've came from, and I know where God has brought me from, and I know where he's still getting me out of things at, which was something I was going to one day speak on my channel too, but I'm just not ready.
Tiffany dropping jewels. Bear said talk plainly to him. That's what you got to do. I just talked to him.
Yeah, talking to God really helps.
Yeah,
praying every day, talking to him.
Tiffany said, "Beauty girl, do not apologize. Each one of us have cried in our live stream."
Yes.
April, and she tough as nails. That's
right.
She boy Exa love you, sis.
Well, she tried to play tough. She cried baby too.
Yeah. Yes, that's so true. I just talk to him. The thing that I go through now with God, like I say my prayer, and because of my MS, like I forget what I was in this, and I have to start the prayer all over. And I said, God, I finna start this all over. I forgot where I was going with this prayer. And then and sometimes I fall asleep. Have y'all ever fallen asleep praying?
Yes.
Do y'all think that's God just saying, look, I already know. Go ahead, go to bed.
Right. Just sleep it off.
I swear. I have fallen asleep praying a few times. I think that's what he be doing. Hey, Yemi.
Hey, Yemi. Hey, Uncle Yemi.
Yeah. We all have our own issues, with depression. I go in and out of a depression state, because I have a fertility issue. Like I'm not able to have children because of my MS. So, the first time I lost my child was very devastating when I was pregnant and I lost the child. I didn't know that I had MS at the time. But once I got diagnosed, the doctor said more than likely you lost the child because of your MS. And then I had to make a decision whether I wanted to treat the MS that was rapidly advancing or not treat it and try to get pregnant again. With that, you run the risk of losing a child a second time. And I don't think I could have mentally bared that. Like, I didn't think I could do that. And then I thought of, okay, let's say if I did carry the child to term, what kind of quality of life I would have, nobody could say. And so I had to make the hard decision to not try to get pregnant ever again in life. And so I slipped in and out of depression all the time. Some days I'm okay, and just some days I'm just not. I'm just not okay. Because it hurts. It does. And so that's when I said it is a battle within. Because it's like 1 minute you feel okay and everything's right with the world, and the next thing, bam, you can't even.
Right. A storm.
It's a storm. You can't even get out the bed. Like you are so depressed till it hurts.
You don't even want to do your hair. You just don't
No.
want to do nothing.
You had your good days where it just seemed like, okay, let's
Like
go.
you glowed up and
Good, I'm ready to
everything.
party. What up, y'all? And then there's those moments where you be like,
I ain't going
There's
nowhere.
people
I'm staying
go,
right in this bed.
Yeah.
what's wrong? I have a lot of people go, Beauty, are you okay? What's going on? I'm like, I'm fine. I'm fine. It's just that at that moment, I'm just not.
Yeah.
They going, that's not, they look and go, but that's not you. You usually, no, this me too.
Yeah.
This is another part of me.
Right.
This me too.
It's a battle. It's a battle. And this is the crazy part. A lot of people are depressed and don't even know it.
Right.
Let me tell you, this is my biggest issue when it comes to, and I'm about to speak on our people of color. They always look at it as it's a bad thing to go and seek help and go see a doctor. Oh, you must be crazy if you got to go seek help. No, you not. No, you not. I think you crazy if you don't go get help. I do. You know, they turn around because you go seek a therapist. They want to say, oh, you got to go see the crazy doctor. There ain't no crazy doctor. I'm getting help so I can heal myself. For a long time, I was ashamed to admit to people that I was getting help because I know how our people are. They turn around and they will look at you and shame you for that and say, oh, there must be something wrong with you. You crazy or something? No. And as I got older, I realized, no, I'm not crazy. You don't want crazy because you don't even know what's going on with you. And there's really something wrong with you. And you definitely need some help too.
Right.
So now I encourage everyone, go get help.
Yeah.
It's out there. Get the
There's nothing
help.
wrong with getting
Don't
help.
ever be ashamed to feel, because I was that person who felt ashamed and didn't tell nobody I was actually getting help. You know, so I just feel don't ever allow anybody to make you feel ashamed to go out and go seek help, because it's nothing wrong with it. It's about you healing your mind, your soul. Just like you got to go to the doctor to get your body healed and get, if there's something wrong, you got to get your mind healed too. When you go to the gym and work out and get physically fit, that's the same thing. You want your mind, your body, and your soul healed. And everybody always thinking, I'm not trying to be funny, and it's not to downplay the church at all, because I do believe that there is power in prayer. I do. But sometimes we need to talk to others that's going to help us. And because I do believe God put doctors out there for a reason.
Right.
Yeah.
I really do believe that. I think God put doctors out there for a reason, to help us, to heal us. So don't be silly to the fact of getting out there trying to get the help to get yourself together when you feeling depressed, because there's so much help out here in so many different areas. And don't feel ashamed of it, because I was that person. I used to hide that. And then I realized, what am I need to be ashamed of, because I'm getting help? Actually, you need help. You should go do it.
Yeah.
I feel like with me, I help more people than I help myself. So I had to start helping myself before helping other people, because I'm always, people call me a motivator. All my friends say, I go to you, Lizzie, because you're a motivator. I motivate you because I don't want you to go what I'm going through. So I motivate you to do better than me. That's why I motivate people. But I had to sit down and start motivating myself and start, getting myself together too.
You have to. You have to. The first time I went to a psychiatrist, like after my grandmother passed, and I didn't know how to deal with that. Like, and that was because everybody knew that she was passing away but me. Because her and I were so close. And my mother apologized for me. She said, in hindsight, we should have been more upfront with you. Like, I didn't know she was dying. They just said, well, Nikki, she's older, so it's gonna take her a little longer to heal. And that's a believable story because of her age. She just got some fluid on her lungs. I said, okay, but she gonna pull it through? Yeah. And they was like, but then I said, she's not getting better. It looked like she getting worse. What's going on? They finally told me, and boom, literally 3 days later, she was gone. So when everybody had time to grieve, it just hit me out of nowhere because they kept telling me she was going to be okay. So I slipped into this depression because that was my friend. Like my aunt tells this story. Like when I was born, she said, I think my mama, that she had her new little buddy. She didn't have a granddaughter. She had a new little friend. Because I rolled tight with my grandma. You hear me? I rolled tight. So I never had a chance to process that she was passing. Nobody had that talk with me. It was like, boom, she was gone. And I didn't know how to deal with that. And so I slipped into a depression. And I had to go seek help. And I went and talked to somebody. Now, the gotcha with that was, I went to therapy for that. So I'm thinking, I know when I'm depressed, right? I think I can handle it. I know when I'm depressed. You fast forward to years later, and this is before I met my husband. I was raped. It was like a date rape situation. So I know who the person is. I'm thinking I can handle this. I ain't depressed. I'm good. You know, because it's a different situation. So I don't feel the same trauma. It's a totally different trauma. I'm thinking I'm okay. And I don't went some time. Some time has lapsed. And I'm thinking I'm okay. I'm fine. Like literally a whole year has went by. And I'm thinking I'm okay. And I meet my husband and we dating. We sitting at his apartment looking at a movie and we fall asleep. Well, he kind of falls asleep and falls on me. Now, it's real innocent. He just fell asleep and he fell asleep on me. And I fell asleep. Well, I wake up to the weight of him on my shoulder. And I have a panic attack. I have a panic attack. And he's like, what is wrong? Are you okay? And I don't tell him just yet. A few days later after that, I'm riding down the street and I'm talking to a friend of mine who's like my brother. Actually, he's my college roommate's older brother. So he, that's his little sis. So I'm like his little sis too. And we just catching up or whatever. And out the blue, I break down. And only thing he says, pull the car over now. Hang up the phone with me. Call for help. You need to talk to somebody. And in that moment, I knew then that I needed to go back into therapy, that I wasn't okay. I wasn't okay. And I told Aaron, this situation, and he took me to every last one of my therapy appointments and never left my side. He said, I'm thankful that you shared it with me. He said, now I understand. But yeah, I started having the panic attacks and I didn't, So even still, sometimes you think you got a grip on it and you think you okay, but you're not. You fast forward me not able to have kids, that's a whole nother trauma. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes the depression can affect you in different areas or different ways that you don't even know. And you think you good, but you really not. And so it's nothing wrong with asking for help. But when I said earlier, sometimes people don't even know they need help. Like I didn't think I needed help. Like I went a whole year without help. I wasn't, but see, I went that whole year not even trying to date nobody, kind of stayed in my own little bubble. So I felt safe. So when I decided to try to start dating again, going out, it just all came rushing back to me. And that's when I had the panic attack. And that's when, okay, you're not okay, girl. You got to go back into therapy. And I went right back in. And it's made a difference. I get that it's a big stigma within our community about it. I don't understand, because a lot of people need it and don't even realize they need it. And some of them realize they need it, but they don't want to go, because they associate that with being a bad thing. And I don't get it, because I think it'll help so many people. It really will.
That's just like what they say in families, in our families too, that I don't like is what goes on in my house stays in my house. Whoo, my mama was the number one candidate for that. What goes on in my house stays in my house. And Lord forbid, if anything you took that went on in her house, out of her house, it was a big problem. So I walked around as a mute.
Okay.
Certain stuff, it was kind of like, don't know if I should speak, not say this. So that's why I think a lot of stuff was so bottled up when it came to me. And that's how come, when I did start seeing a therapist, she taught me, don't hold in and talk it out. You have to get it out. There's things that occurred that you need to talk about. There's things that you should not be holding in because of that rule of thumb. What goes on in my house stays in my house. It's like, wow. And I don't think she meant any harm when she said it. But when you're a kid, you not knowing, what to say and what not to say. So you just stay quiet about everything. You get what I'm saying? Because it wasn't like it was any form of abuse or anything going on. It's just that was her rule. What goes on in my house stays in my house. And that was hard. Hey, Chit Chat.
But that's probably how she was raised. And a lot of people are raised that way. I had an aunt like that. She was like, I don't know why they gonna go talk. Whatever's going on, you're not supposed to go talk about it outside of the family. Okay, but if that person got to reach outside the family to get help, then what else are they to do? I'm just glad they were strong enough to do that. But I had an aunt like that. God rest her soul. I don't care what happened, abuse, whatever. Unfortunately, that's how she was. Now, I'm thankful that my mom, my grandma, everybody immediate were not like that. Like my grandmother, the one I was talking about, you could go to her with anything. I could tell her anything. If I say so-and-so looking at me crazy, he is. Okay, I'm going to handle that. That's how she was. But everybody did not have that safety net. But that's how my grandma was. She was like that. Like, he did what? Okay. How did he look at you? Did he touch you? Grandma, she did not play. But everybody don't
know. My grandmother.
Yes. Everybody
didn't play that. I didn't care where I stayed nights at. I got drilled. So what happened? What went on? Who was all there? What was they? I know.
My dad grilled me because it was a friend of his. It was some molestation going on with a ex friend of his, and he didn't know. So I just remember as a child, my dad coming storming through the door, just grilling me, asking me all these questions. And I was trying to answer them as fast as I could. Did he touch you? What happened? What y'all do? And then my mom said, I don't think she said, she can't hold water. If something happened, she would have told it by now. I don't think and nothing did, And then my mom said, your dad was so mad. Your dad stormed right back out the door, like looking for him. Because my dad didn't play that. They never spoke to this day. That friendship was over and done right then and there. But I remember my dad just grilling me about that. Just grilling me till my mom had to stop him from questioning me. That's how mad, because you know, as a little girl, my daddy's girl, and I'm like, oh, my dad. I knew my daddy was mad, and so I'm trying to answer his questions, but he was firing them questions. Like what y'all did at 8:02 p.m. Like my daddy was coming with the questions. You sure? Who helped you put your pajamas on? Like my daddy was grilling me. And I was like, I put my own pajamas on. What? And then it wasn't until I was older that I asked my mom what really happened. And that's when I found out the true story. Because, you know, I always remembered that because I had never seen my dad that mad ever. I still have not seen my dad. To this day, I have not seen my father that mad that I saw him that night. Like, I thought he was going to really hurt somebody. I had never seen my father that mad. I still haven't. So it's just crazy the trauma that people go through. Like I prayed for, my friend who went through what she went through. I may have saw her one time as an adult since all that happened, and I haven't seen her again. But I always, once I found out the real story, I always prayed for her mental health, that she got the help that she needed, because a lot of people don't. Lord.
And that's the point. Nobody should ever be afraid to go get help.
Yeah.
It's there. That's what help is for. That's why it's called help. It's just help. Yep. Don't ever feel afraid to go out and get help at all.
Okay, well, it is 6:07. Did anybody have anything they wanted to share really quick? If not, we're going to wrap this on up. This was a very good discussion. I think this was a discussion that needed to be had. April, can you put the hotline in the chat again? April's going to put the hotline in again. We are not doctors. If you battling something, you going through something, reach out to that hotline. April's going to put it in the chat again. Lizzie, did you have any final words you wanted to say? Beauty, did you?
No, I'm good.
Where's April? He put the thing in the chat again. She might have stepped away. Hold on. Girl. I can't even find the hotline number. I was going to put it in here again. Hold on. There it is.
1-800-662-4357.
I'm about to repost it. If anybody's in the bushes, that is the national hotline number for people suffering with depression. Again, we are not doctors or any of that. So definitely reach out to them. Help is there. And don't be ashamed of it. Get the help. Well, we're going to go ahead on and end this. Thank y'all so much for coming in and tuning in. Of course, this will be left up, so anybody who came in late or whatever, you guys can always catch the replay. Thank you so much for sticking with us and supporting Safe Space of Love. This is always going to be a safety zone for anybody. So we love y'all. We thank y'all. And we're going to go ahead on and end the live stream. Y'all have a good night. Thank you.